Well, hello, everyone. Yes. Woo. Wow. Welcome to Fair Life again on another Monday of relaxation after formerly a crazy weekend of fair or something fair adjacent. Yes. I had a sort of a fair traveling moment. Not exactly from fair, but I went up to see my parents this uh, past weekend for my dad's birthday. And yeah, drove back today. Was hoping to get in a decent time to have plenty of time to set up the show. That did not happen. I got a flat tire on the way from Dallas to Austin, and yeah, it was an adventure. So got all that straightened out and managed to get the show up on time. Yes. So thank you. Ooh, yeah, always crazy. Great to see you, Jan and Katsurita and Janine and Kevin and Kurt and uh, Desi Belly Helly? Okay, that's a different one. Um, yeah, definitely not good, Katsurita. Definitely. Um, oh, is the audio unsynced, or is that just Alacia? Let's find out. We'll do this the appropriate way. Okay, the audio's not synced right. Well, the image shouldn't be that blurry, but that's let's see. Is anybody on YouTube having audio sync problems, or is it just Facebook? That's a good question. Ah, hmm. That's not good. Let me take a quick look at filters, see what we have. Hmm. Okay, okay. Let's try something. Okay, sounds like had another person clapping. Let's go ahead and shut off audio for a second and then turn it back on and see what happens. Okay, and now audio is back. Let's see. Um, let's see if it's any better now. Any better, anyone, or is it still way off? Yeah, I'm looking at the audio input and it looks like it is. Yeah, it's still off. Hmm. Okay, well, this is entertainment. Hmm. Okay, we're gonna try something here. Definitely gonna try something. Oh, definitely blurry? I'm gonna clap again since you asked. Um, that's odd because I shouldn't be, unless something really seriously changed on Facebook's end. Because okay, YouTube apparently is very clear. Okay, is this audio or just video? I seem good, Janine. Janine, so is it okay on YouTube as far as audio sync? Okay, so Jan says that the audio is still rough, but it's not blurry on her. So I think it's just where your connection is. If you're not getting great connection, then that's just your ISP. Thanks, thanks. Yeah. Like I said, I rushed into the show tonight, so maybe I did. Um. Okay. Let's. Hmm. The way I have everything set up here, it's not really very easy to make changes with audio because I'm going to both YouTube and Facebook at the same time. I'd almost have to stop the stream, start it completely to go really crazy with it. Let me see real quick for a second. Um, I'm gonna mess with something, okay? Because I do that sometimes. Give me a second. Okay. No, nothing. It's still off. Okay. Mercy, mercy. Hmm. Well, I suppose just continue and hope for the best and accept that it's a little off right now. Otherwise, otherwise I need to stop and start it again. If you'd rather me stop and start it, I can do that. Um, would that be better for y'all? For me to just stop the stream and then restart it immediately? That would probably take care of it. But you know how that goes. It's always a mess to do that. Is this livable for y'all? Is this okay? Is this too much? I guess I could always. It seems like it's off by about. It's behind. Yeah. If I'm reading it, if I'm looking at it correctly, it looks like it's delayed by about half a second to a second. That seem about right to y'all? That's how I'm looking at it. Um, yeah. I wonder. Okay. Does that seem any better to y'all as far as timing? A little better? Because I just did a delay on the audio, a negative delay. Or does that seem about the same? Oh, really? Okay. Does it need a little more, or is it is it about there? I went about a half a second um, negative. Just much better, but not perfect. Let's Okay, that's about right. Okay, let's give it a shot. We'll go with this. As always, I appreciate your patience. It's been a weird day, to say the least. Okay, so I guessed right. Whew. It's not perfect, but we just wasted some time. Alicia, the optimist of the group, always. Really weird. Yeah, really weird. Go a hair more because I'm like that. Okay, let's just give this a shot and see. All right. So yeah, I guess what we'll do is we'll go ahead and just roll with it and hope for the best. It's been a weird day, and it's been a weird weekend. It Oh, the wisdom of Alatia never fails. Never fails. Now, I am curious, how many of you are excited about Valentine's Day, and how many of you wish it would go into oblivion and die a horrific fiery death? I mean, just from those that are watching, Valentine's Day good or Valentine's Day bad? And I'm asking, well, let's go ahead and put up the classic, here we go, graphic, just to kind of show Valentine's Day. Yay or nay? I mean, what are you thinking? What are you thinking? Good, bad? Uh, well, Alacia has made her views known. That's to be expected. Anybody else? I mean, good Valentine's Day, bad. I mean, I I'm just wondering if anybody actually likes Valentine's Day, because the people usually are one extreme or the other. I found it is an interesting holiday that way. Really is. I mean, as you're typing in your views, because I'm thinking this is you're taking some time typing because there are some serious views on this. Um, wow, the guilt you into spending money view. Interesting. Um, okay, Friend Day. I like that. That's pretty good. Um, yeah, that's fair. Cherry pie for Valentine's Day. That's interesting. Okay. Um, okay, that works. Indifference. Kurt, wow, that's rare. Normally, I find either a love hate relationship with it, but indifference, that's refreshing, Kurt. I like that. And okay, Katsurita, not a fan. Not a fan. Interesting. Interesting. Well, I'll go over real quick with, uh, yeah. Uh, oh, okay. That's fair for the finish. Okay, I get that. Interesting. Hated as a kid, indifferent as an adult. Why did you hate it as a kid, Kevin? I mean, was it just the way it was presented to you, or uh, just yeah, that's interesting. Normally, kids have more fun with it than adults. I found, but um, okay, just doesn't bother him. Huh? That is really wild to have indifference with that holiday. It usually inspires so much passion one way or the other. I mean, obviously. Uh, Okay, Kathy, that's an optimistic view. Generally, people tend to be nicer. It's kind of like that whole Christmas view where people, it's Valentine's Day. I've got to be nice. It's sort of ingrained. I get that. That's kind of cool. Okay, I like that point of view. Hmm. Oh, wow. Yeah. Okay. The mandatory classroom participation. You're not wrong. Some schools I think handled it better than others by far. Yeah, I think it was a definite problem. Uh, Most assured, I get that. I get that. Hmm. Oh, okay. Interesting. Yeah, Alicia, maybe similar classmates. It all just depends. I mean, for me as a kid, Valentine's Day wasn't really that annoying. I mean, it was sometimes a little stressful just because you were just like, okay, what do I do here? I mean, what's the protocol? But I think that was part of the point at the time to try to teach kids a certain protocol in um, sending out cards to people, and that was kind of what it was about. Going back to the 1800s, that whole concept of I'm giving you my card, I'm giving you information, I'm sending you a letter. I mean, it was that whole kind of that approach, that Victorian approach to putting your feelings in written form and never saying them out loud. that was that began to take shape in on Valentine's Day. Oh wow. You see, that's just yeah, I'm not a fan of that. That's if you're either going to enjoy it or that whole pie in the face concept for Valentine's Day, I think that's just cruel. Um, yeah, yeah. Classic joke. Yes, what's the difference between a $23 steak and a $54 steak? February 13th versus February 14th. I get it. I get it. Um, Now, of course, my personal favorite is February 15th, or as I like to call cheap candy day, when you can get all of this expensive candy that normally is ridiculously overpriced for a small fraction of what it normally is. And I've talked about my strategy here on this show before, as far as going to those CVS's or Walgreens or any type of place that sells that stuff, the ones that are out of the way, not as popular or highly trafficked as others, and just go there that following morning, and you'll be surprised what you can find. And sometimes some of those out of the way places, they'll be trying to get rid of that candy for days, marking it down to like 10% sometimes is the best deal I've seen. which I mean, it's for the for that price, it's ridiculous. But usually 50% off makes it kind of worth it, depending on what they have and what you like candy wise. Um, yeah, yeah. Disposition is important for a holiday. That's a very true statement. And yeah, yeah, it's all about the candy. That's how you get the kids. Candy on Valentine's, candy on Halloween. It's yeah, it's that. Yeah, well, flowers. There are some people that look at flowers as having their own language and different flowers and different colors and spreading it. I mean, there's a whole protocol to that, which it's very intricate. You almost need a consultant just to figure out flowers. It can get wild. Um, oh yeah, yeah. Sometimes they do. Sometimes they do. And yeah, I totally agree. Yeah, I mean, it's the difference between real and marketing. I get that. I get that. Really, Easter candy is the best candy? That's an interesting concept. Okay, okay. Uh, I like that. Discuss that because I don't know what is your favorite candy holiday as far as quality of the candy? Not so much for the holiday, but for the quality of the candy. Do you agree with Alacia here that it's Easter? Because yeah, yeah. Um, okay, okay. Peeps. Okay, so yeah, I know I see a lot of people who like Easter. I actually don't like Peeps. I've never been a Peeps person, and there's a lot of the Easter candy does not appeal to me. So I'm actually more of a fan of Valentine's for candy. Honestly, those chocolate and caramels. Ooh, I love caramel and that kind of thing. Those toffees. Oh yeah, you get some of that that is not as common. I mean, Easter's not bad, but it's not my favorite. But that's interesting. I know people that worship Peeps, and I've never been a huge fan. Hmm. Oh yeah, the chocolate bunnies. Yeah, those can be nice. And robin eggs. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Definitely, definitely. That's true. And that's why with the caramels, you usually get those on Valentine's, and that's kind of my thing. Chocolate and caramel is my jam. Definitely. For those of you taking notes. Oh yeah, Russell Stover's eggs. Yeah, that's a good point. Easter, correct me if I'm wrong, but my perception is Easter candy has come a long way in the last decade or two. I mean, it's ridiculous the difference and change. Really nuts. Because not that type of nuts, but crazy. Because yeah, I think of when I was a kid and Easter had certain things, and it's totally different now. They've got so much more. They've expanded it in a positive way, so it is better than it used to be. So I don't know. Maybe I need to look at post Easter cheap candy day a little more seriously this year. Maybe I do. Maybe I do. Hmm. Okay. Well, uh, oh yeah, the chalky hearts. Yeah, those. Yeah, those were the things you always got as kids. Definitely, definitely. Well, for those of you that don't know much about the history of Valentine's Day, I'll go ahead and throw this out real quick because, yeah, I mean, generally, generally the Catholic Church recognizes at least three different saints called Saint Valentine, and all of them were martyred. Two were killed by one emperor, Claudius II. So, but I'm not going to go into the whole history of that because it's more legend than fact. I mean, the history is very murky at best. I, yeah, but generally the stories all center on a sympathetic, heroic figure that kind of a romantic figure sometimes, and I think that's what's translated over through the years. Now, it sort of stemmed from an earlier pagan celebration called Lupercalia, which was usually celebrated on February the 15th. It's a fertility festival, and the theory goes that the Catholic Church sort of co-opted that and turned it into Valentine's Day to kind of do away with it because, well, it wasn't about love. So, uh, yeah, but it's during the Middle Ages that things changed a lot, and it became a holiday all about love, especially in France and England. And February 14th was commonly known as the beginning of a bird's mating season, which added to the idea of Valentine's Day should be about romance. And oh yeah, everybody's still talking about chocolates. But yeah, then Geoffrey Chaucer came along. And now most people know Chaucer for Canterbury Tales, of course. But he wrote a lot of other things. And he's also the first to record St. Valentine's Day as a romantic celebration. And he did it in a poem, The Parliament of Fowls, in 1375. So it's interesting. A line, what is it? For this was sent on St. Valentine's Day, when every fowl cometh there to choose his mate. So yeah, I mean, it talks about, well, I mean, the poem is interesting in that it talks about birds mating and compares that to people, and it's kind of interesting in its own right. But that's about when it started, and riding valentines started to appear around 1400. So soon after that, that whole concept of love and romance and sharing that around 1400. So definitely kind of interesting. And Jen, yeah, you're right. Church is great at co-opting local holidays. Then, of course, in the 1800s, Valentine's cards and boxes of chocolate. Here you go. Started becoming sold. Now, I've mentioned this before on the show, and I really recommend it. It's a book called The Chocolate Wars by Deborah Cadbury. If you're interested in learning about the history of the actual box of chocolate, the first one that was made into a heart was by Cadbury. A little history of that and history of chocolate in general. I really recommend that book. It's a really good book. The Chocolate Wars by Deborah Cadbury. Very good. Okay. So a foul affair. Oh, Lisa. Oh, you're killing me. I love it. I fully, definitely like that one. That was a good joke. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and talk real quick about the fairs coming up. There aren't many. So let's just jump into that real quick while we can. Here we go. So yeah, only 4 this coming up weekend. We're kind of in the off season a little bit. That transition time between the few fairs we have in the winter and the spring fairs that are starting to pop up, and you're going to see more of those in the few coming weekends. But this, for now, just 4. So let's jump on that. And oh yeah, let's not forget to bring in everybody's favorite. Yay! The favorite cat toy, the laser pointer. Excellent. All right. So starting over in the Northeast, and right, yeah, in the Northeast in February, crazy, right? Well, not so crazy, because in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, there's Mythicon, and it's an indoor convention, but it's also a midwinter Fay gathering and Frost Fairy Ball. So it's essentially a fairy festival, but they do it indoors, and they call it Mythicon, more like a convention. So it's sort of like a hybrid. I wasn't quite sure whether to include it or not, but it's interesting, and they do have a lot of fun, and it is indoors, so you don't have to worry so much about the cold. Totally get that. It's one weekend only, Friday through Sunday, 3-day weekend, but something interesting. Going down to Florida, we have the Bay City Renaissance Festival in Dade City, Florida, up here. And that's weekend 1 of 7. So we've got 7 weekends coming up. And the theme is Highland Fling. Then below that, we have the Florida Renaissance Festival is still going on in Deerfield Beach, Florida. This is week 3 out of 8. And the theme is Steampunk and Time Travelers, Age of Automation. So yes, always trying to merge those sci-fi fantasy conventions and Ren fairs with a theme weekend. I'm still on the fence a little bit about that one, but it can be fun if it's just one weekend, I guess. Then going over to Arizona, the Arizona Renaissance Festival is still going on in Apache Junction, Arizona. It's the third weekend out of 9, and it'll be open Monday for President's Day. So it's royalty weekend. So something to check out there. So yes, 4, count them, 4 different Ren fairs this weekend. Well, I mean, 3 Ren fairs and a fairy festival, but you take what you can in February. You really do. So yes, yes. So excellent. Okay, so I'm actually, even in spite of the audio snafus, oh yes, Sunday is Royal Pride at Arizona. So yes. But yeah, not running too late considering the audio problems at the beginning, so we'll call that a victory. Crazy show today. But yeah, let's go ahead and jump into 7 reasons before we get too far into it. And for 7 reasons, I thought of a few different things, and I decided on why Valentine's Day is the best Renaissance holiday. Because, there are plenty of holidays that can kind of come from the Renaissance, but Valentine's Day, I think, has a lot of history, specifically in medieval and Renaissance times. So, yeah, I figured let's jump with that. Don't jinx. Oh, yeah, fair enough. So 7 reasons. Let's jump into number 7, the 7th reason why St. Valentine's Day is a good medieval Renaissance fair holiday. Okay, so the obvious, of course, sending a Valentine originated in that time. The whole concept of sending an actual Valentine to somebody. The cards came later, but actually sending a note that was for them, that about around 1400 is when that started. So yeah, that's very timely. So yeah, definitely cool. I mean, that tradition has really progressed and been a huge deal. So definitely from medieval / Renaissance times. Number 6. I mean, Chaucer popularized the concept of love for Valentine's Day. I mean, hard to get more medieval / Renaissance than that. I mean, Chaucer, and that's like medieval literature. Chaucer. I mean, you that's top of the list, so you got it. Number 5. Number 5. Let's be honest. The old Roman holiday was about debauchery, not love. So you can go back to Roman times and say it was a pagan holiday, but no. Nice try. It was a fertility festival where priests went around putting blood on of recently sacrificed animals on people, and then they all got busy. So yeah, not exactly the same. Not exactly the same. Yeah, not even on Saturday nights at Faire. Just saying. So number 4. Number 4. Oh my gosh. Oh, Alicia, yeah, that's not gonna happen ever. Not gonna happen ever. Ooh, okay. Yeah. All right, number 4. Number 4. Sending romantic notes started then. I already mentioned that before, but yeah, I mean, the whole concept of the romance, just kind of that's where it stemmed from. So kind of a big deal. Number 3, yeah, I mean, the church was co-opting the Roman holiday, so it's hard to call it a church, like a religious holiday. First it was a pagan holiday, then it was a religious church, Christian holiday, and so calling it a romantic holiday, that started in medieval times. So yeah, I mean, I don't even think you can really call it a religious holiday anymore. Not really. In fact, in the 60s, the Catholic Church did away with St. Valentine's Day as a saint's day. So if I remember correctly, I think it was 65 or something like that. Um, oh wow, we're really going with the cat stuff, aren't we? Okay. So number two. Um, back then they handed out Saints Days like candy, and yes, I'm that was pun was on purpose. Yeah, there were Saints Days for everything. So saying that as a religious holiday it was special just because it was a Saints Day, I mean, no, they had a ton of them. So yeah, the fact that that one got popular because of romance later is a separate thing. What had nothing to do with the fact that they were saints or martyred saints. So number one, what's more Ren Fair than heavy flirting? Come on. So yeah, I mean, going around and flirting and saying, "Hey, will you be my Valentine?" I mean, that's like so Ren Fair right there. I mean, that flirting is such a huge part of the Renaissance fair experience that it just seems to go hand in hand with Valentine's Day. I'm just saying. So yeah, 7 reasons why it works as a as a holiday for the Renaissance. All right. Okay. Whew. Ah. Ouch. Ouch. Yes, I do sometimes. Not maybe not as much as I used to. Maybe I should go back to flirting more. You know, you're right. Crazy. I started concentrating more on music. What was I thinking? You're right. So more flirting. I like it. I like it. Will do. Will do. Hmm. Birthday's on All Saints Day. Yeah, you know, my father's birthday being so close to Valentine's Day, I think it's kind of cool, actually. I mean, so much better than being close to like Christmas, when Christmas kind of replaces your birthday in many ways. You just don't get the same joy. It's a hard time to have a birthday. But Valentine's Day, not that bad. I think some people just are looking for an excuse not to think about Valentine's Day. So birthday, hey, that works great. And the rest is just like, oh, wow, well, it's your birthday around Valentine's Day, so I'm going to give you lots of chocolate. So there are worse things. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. That's funny. Okay. So, all right, just a little after 7:30, so quick show today. But remember, Valentine's Day tomorrow, and the more important holiday, at the day after on the 15th, Cheap Candy Day. So definitely let me know what awesome things happen to you on Cheap Candy Day, that wondrous holiday of holidays. So look forward to seeing you next week, and I'll have a little more time to prepare the show and not rush into it, and we'll get the sound thing figured out. There's definitely a weird latency thing, but I'll get it fixed. But thank you for your patience as always, because, well, as sometimes audio teaches us, life isn't always fair, but you should always strive to have a fair life. So take care, and happy Cheap Candy Day.